pretty comfortable that XRP is not a security, but ultimately it's going to be the SEC and perhaps the courts that make that decision. I would say the biggest drag on cryptocurrency projects today is regulatory uncertainty, by which I mean not laws that are bad. Laws that are bad are a problem too, like laws that, like, okay, I get it, but that really should be changed because it doesn't make sense. It's not that. It's laws that we don't know what the laws are because they use terms that it's, like, for example, in the money transmitter law, it talks about someone who accepts a payment. Well, what does it mean to accept a payment, you know, on a blockchain system? What does it mean? Like, it's not really clear. Like, for example, if you have payment channels, I don't know if many of you know what payment channels are, but they sort of have balances. Like, if you just adjust the balance on a payment channel, is that accepting a payment? Is the payment done? It's like, it's very hard to decide how the laws apply. And that's why I think you'll see many organizations, Ripple and many others, Coin Center is another, lobbying regulators, not so much to change the law, but to clarify it, like to tell us what it is that we need to do so that someone doesn't come down 2 years later and say, hey, what you were doing completely in the open and completely transparently for the last 4 years was illegal from day one, and you should have known that. And we're like, we meet with you like every week.
What is going on, blockchain monkeys? Eagle here, and I'd like to thank you for coming to my jungle. Now, first of all, I am no financial advisor whatsoever, nor am I professional in blockchain technology. But there's one thing that I absolutely will do. Let's give you my opinion. So today, we're going to talk about Ripple, since lawsuits are flying around left and right like, OMG. What is going on here, folks? And many of you have seen the news of the SEC lawsuit that Jay Clayton dropped on him. But just as I was making this video, another one came through, so I'm about to drop that on you. But coming in from Allison, she says, don't forget the SEC also run a validator node on XRPL. This is a pre-planned showcase lawsuit where the outcome between Ripple and the SEC has already been agreed. It's just an excuse to force legislation for the use of cryptocurrency in the US. It's a plan 8 years in the making. What do you think about that, folks? Comment down below and tell me, because this is crazy. Okay, now, before we get to that, before we get to what Brooksy's talking about, can we come over here real quick to the Ripple's newest lawsuit? Okay, Ripple's Series C lead investor Tetragon sues company in wake of SEC charges. Okay, so Tetragon, the lead investor in Ripple's $200 million Series C, has sued the company after a recent complaint by the US SEC. Tetragon is seeking to enforce its contractual right to require Ripple to redeem Series C preferred stock. So I'm guessing they probably just want their money back, huh? So it's all planned, folks. It's all planned out. Like, come on. Like, you can see this, right? We're just in the stands watching the play, okay? Ripple is facing yet another lawsuit, this time from one of its investors. So Tetragon Financial Group, the lead investor of Ripple's $200 million Series C, has sued the company after a recent complaint by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Tetragon filed its complaint on Monday, Delaware Chancery Court, seeking to enforce its contractual right to require Ripple to redeem Series C preferred stock per the report. Tetragon also wants to block Ripple from using any cash or any other liquid assets until payment is made. The company has asked the court for a temporary restraining order, a preliminary injunction, and an expedited trial. This is all a game. You know what? And it's really, really nice to watch. Now come back over here to Twitter because I wanted to show you this. Just take a look at Jay Clayton real quick, right? I saw a video. I wanted to bring this to your attention. Like with or without you, it's going down, and they all know it. And it's just crazy to watch Jay Clayton play his little game as he walks down the SEC trials. Okay, take a listen.
No, and look, I want to go back to something we talked about around monetary policy, which is if this happens.
When it happens, Jay. When it happens.
Which I say if, I think you're saying when. I get it.
You have a little bit more to do with the if than we do. I'm just kidding.
No,
no, you're not.
My view is
no, you're not.
It's happening. Yeah.
Right.
What is the U.S.'s role? Right?
Yeah.
Well, that's
yeah.
I'm gonna go further because
do my right hand. Yes, you're right.
Because we're both involved in companies that are doing it.
But we should not be fighting that digitization because, you know, if we fight it, it will go around us.
The answer has to be yes, right? we needed answers about, can banks custody cryptocurrency so that institutions felt comfortable adopting? And you saw what happened when we gave that clarity. So you have clarity across a variety of areas that I think you'll be seeing just in the next 6 to 8 weeks, which will make it easier for crypto investors to know how to invest, to know how institutions can be in this asset class. And those are the things that are driving prices at this point. You know, it may have been a bubble 2 years ago, but with more clarity, institutions that see this as a real thing are going to adopt at scale, which they've already started to do. So
as we march, you see, U.S. federal regulator says banks can conduct payments using stablecoins. So you got all these lawsuits and crazy things going on over here. But at the other end, you see the plumbing. You see the pipes. You see it being built. Federally regulated banks can use stablecoins to conduct payments and other activities. The Office of the Comptroller of Currency, OCC, said Monday. Now, this just looks to me like you're just, doing the same thing that they're doing now with the dollar system. They're just doing this in another form. This is what's happening, folks. But guess who's here? Guess who's here before the masses? The blockchain monkeys. Let's go. The federal banking regulator published an interpretive letter addressing whether national banks and federal savings associations could participate in independent node verification networks, INVN, otherwise known as blockchain networks. It is happening, folks, or use stablecoins. The letter said these financial institutions can participate as nodes on a blockchain and store and validate payments. Still, the OCC said INVNs may be more resilient than other payment networks due to the large number of nodes needed to verify transactions, which can in turn limit tampering. Now, I wanted to bring you right over here to this because this is just tasty right here. Don't put this in the same category as Ripple. Kristen Smith, executive director of Blockchain Association, said Twitter that the letter states that blockchains have the same status as other global financial networks such as SWIFT, ACH, and FedWire. Do you know what you're a part of, blockchain monkeys? Do you truly know? We are about to get our wigs blown back. Yeah! Come on and subscribe. And we will all see each other on the moon.
Cause it's the standard in this bitch. XRP. I went to YouTube University, and now they mocking me with no degree. We saying by the Swift, keep it walking. Respecting elders in these bushes. Bitcoin is talking.
Your local regulator and ask them, hey, listen, I have this investment. I've been told about this opportunity. What can you tell me about it? And then also, what can you tell me about this individual who's asking me to invest? Even if that regulator doesn't cover that particular investment, very likely they're going to point you in the right direction so you can find out more information before you invest. Be an informed consumer.